All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another episode of the Walrus and Comic Podcast, the sports report you're dying to hear every week, and we got a special one for you. Today, we are breaking down by far the best Royal Rumble pay-per-view in WWE history. Is that right, Brett?
I mean, is this the first one you've watched?
So, in all actuality, the Royal Rumble is my least favorite pay-per-view WWE does.
Really?
100%.
As a child, it was always my favorite.
The concept of just throwing someone over the top is stupid to me.
All
Right? From a thing where it used to be illegal to do in the rules, because remember wrestling, you couldn't throw them over the top.
Mm-hmm.
That was illegal. And then now we make it into some spectacle where we put as many people in the ring as we can get. And it's the same spots every year over and over. Like, there's really nothing crazy that happens unless Kofi Kingston's in it and he does some crazy thing. But they did it this year with... the Uso brothers' wife. Feel the Glow girl. What's her name? No, you're about to say Natalia. Oh my gosh, what's her name? I'm gonna have to restart it because I don't want to feel stupid.
No, hang
but
on.
we're gonna keep going with it here.
Yeah.
Man.
Neon Girl. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Whatever her name is, they did it with her. She
Neon.
She landed on her butt with her feet in the air, and she scooted back. Yeah, it was a weird spot. What she did with Bianca Belair, who ends up winning the Women's Royal Rumble. We'll talk about all that. But to me, it's super hokey. And there's a lot of hokey stuff in WWE, but I feel like this is the top of the top
It's
of the
not
hokiness.
more hokey than anything else they do.
I don't know, man. It's just... I guess it's cool if you like seeing returns for one night. But, other than that, to me, it's just kind of... one of the more pointless pay-per-views we have. And you know what? I know a lot of people who love the Royal Rumble.
Me!
And all it is to me is a bunch of pointing up to the sign at the end. I watch it because, there's other matches to watch. And I tune out a lot of the actual Rumble itself.
I'm sure you were upset with this show. There's other matches to watch.
You know what? Here you go. I thought this was the best match in WWE for Goldberg. All right, we're opening up with Goldberg. Right?
I'll tell you why it was the best match for him.
Why, Brett?
Hey, please don't pick up our champion. Please don't do anything with our champion. You can jackhammer him once, and guess what? He almost dropped me on his damn head the one time.
Well, he jackhammered him. He speared him multiple times.
Spears are...
but the same thing Brock Lesnar does.
You've almost killed Bret Hart once by kicking him. Don't put your leg off the... Don't pick your leg up.
Stop hitting the thing whenever we're recording.
Don't pick your leg up, please.
Don't
pick him up, please. We'll let you jackhammer him once. Everybody held their breath. He almost struck me on his damn head, the one jackhammer.
I thought it was a solid jackhammer for a 300
All right, we'll go back and look at it when we get done with this. It wasn't.
I know it wasn't. It was bad. I know it was bad.
So, that's what they did. That's why it was his best match, because they figured out, hey, he can't do anything.
Well,
which you would think, at this point, that sentence, hey, he can't do anything. Let's not use him anymore.
So, I guess it's because they're contractually obligated to, because they still have to pay him no matter what. So he has to have 2 matches a year under this contract.
Athletes get paid to stay home all the time.
But Vince ain't going to do that. He's going, by God, use him.
You're going to sit here and watch.
I mean, he literally almost killed The Undertaker.
Yeah, you're going to sit here and watch him kill everybody.
Now, I think Goldberg could do a match with a smaller guy. Put him in there with Rey Mysterio. Obviously, he can pick him up. He can throw him around and do stuff, okay? Put him in with someone mid-size, like AJ Styles.
Wow,
do
this
something
is where
with
we
him.
are.
Well, I mean...
Give him somebody he can... Careful.
Here's the thing. It's capitalizing on, when you're dealing with someone who's older like that, you have to capitalize on, the appropriate matches. AEW is bringing... Sting's going to wrestle a match. He's actually going to wrestle 2. But, the idea, he's going to wrestle a match, and one's going to probably be against Darby Allin, which should be outstanding.
Where did we get? Because I feel like this is happening. You look at Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and all these people in the NFL. You look at what's happening in most sports. It's happening in wrestling. Where did we get? There feels like we got somewhere where we stopped liking modern stuff and we just like remember yesterday. When did that happen? Has it always been like that in human history?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because right now it feels like it's thick.
It's been like that in WWE.
Right now
it's
it feels like it's thick.
But listen, it's always been like that because that's the way you bring your old timey people back in. You bring in Goldberg and like, hey guys, Goldberg's gonna be here, and people who don't care about it now, like, you know what, Goldberg, I gotta watch this. That's the draw, and WWE's done this over its history. WCW
who came
did
in
this.
when Hulk Hogan was there? Like, who from the past?
From like for WWE,
Yeah.
all those guys were older then.
Who came in from the past when Stone Cold or Bret Hart and
all the legends were involved during the Attitude Era.
During the top. Came in and made top spots, and they were your guy.
Well, Goldberg's not the guy. He was in a top spot, like, but you can't even call it a top spot. Like, he was in a title match, but it wasn't a top spot.
He was in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he was in the title match of the Royal Rumble. They keep using
but he was
huge spot.
It was the opening match. No
He's
one
on
cares
the
about
poster. He's on the...
There's the poster right there. I don't see him. He's not on the poster.
I swear to God I saw an advertisement with him on it.
Well, I mean, because he was in a title match, but he's not on the main poster for the show. We're looking at it right there.
All right,
like,
but
listen. You're going to use him. You got to bring him in for something big. Is the idea. And I guess what bigger can you get than a title match?
What bigger can you get with him breaking?
Did you
hey,
listen?
tune in! He's going to break somebody's fucking neck!
Did you listen to the storyline that was actually talked about in the beginning when he was coming out to the ring?
Yeah, I did.
It was the only WWE title he has not captured. So they were actually setting it up for him to win this match. Like, the setup was there. The foreshadowing was there. But they swerved you, bro.
Thank God.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You swerved me out of the way of an oncoming train. Thank you.
Listen, think of how much easier it would be to convince people that Edge could beat Goldberg versus Edge beating McIntyre. Or Edge beating, who's the other champion?
Roman Reigns. No, I don't think it gets... It would just get harder. It would just get harder to convince. It would get harder to convince people that Drew McIntyre could beat anybody if he loses to a man that can't pick him up.
I mean, people can't pick him up all the time. Big Show lost to Rey Mysterio. He couldn't pick him up.
Yeah.
No, I get the point you're making.
We just saw Goldberg almost break somebody's neck, and he could barely jackhammer him. He's the best guy we got.
Well, a lot of that I feel like part of that has to be on McIntyre, because the jackhammer isn't Goldberg doing all the work. The holding him up might be the work, but like at that point, there might not have been an actual good jump release by McIntyre, which made that a more difficult thing to do. Like, in all actuality, it definitely could have worked both ways like that.
But then you have to go back at the last 10 times he screwed it up. And you'd be like, is this one different than the last 10 times he screwed it up?
I think it was. I think this match was better than the last,
because they didn't let him do anything, Ron.
But, I mean, there was a lot of, fighting, brawling. That's all you needed.
Will you stay on the ground, you old man, and not kill any of our people?
You needed... Listen, here's the idea. The idea is that McIntyre has to win the respect of the locker room, okay? What better way to win the respect than beat up an old man who won't stay down?
Yeah, then when you... Hey! Oh, I need some respect. I'm not going to run through this old folks' home and just beat the shit out of everybody. And everybody's going to love me. I'm going to be signing autographs for years.
I mean, Goldberg could beat one of us up.
Could he beat you up, you think?
I think so. Probably so.
What does he know?
Besides, if he hits me with a spear, I mean, I might be done.
No, he won't. He'll dislocate his shoulder. No, he won't.
I don't know, man. It'd be tough.
They make those people sell that spear, right?
Oh, I know.
You have to go...
I don't know, man. Some of his are like potatoes. You know.
They used to be potatoes.
They're still potatoes.
No way. There is no way in hell he could potato McIntyre right now.
100% could. 100% could, man. Like, you get caught like
is that the comment section right now? Could Goldberg potato?
Yes.
Could Goldberg?
That's like saying Undertaker couldn't potato someone.
Could Goldberg potato anybody bigger than Rey Mysterio?
Yes. AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Jey Uso. I'm looking at this thing right here. Yeah, you definitely could.
Because you're telling me
that Undertaker couldn't potato someone.
He's way more of an athlete. He's way bigger.
I don't know. Goldberg was an NFL player.
Ron. Goldberg could He can't pick anybody up.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he can't potato you. Like, this is a totally different thing.
Okay, let me Okay, I'm sorry. You're right, because the definition of a potato is to actually hit somebody. Yes, any human with limbs and anything can actually hit somebody. Can he hurt somebody with a potato? No.
I think he could. I think he really could, probably.
All right, well, we're going to see some comments out of this.
They
are going to tell us whether Goldberg could injure Drew McIntyre specifically with a potato.
I just had this image of Goldberg hitting McIntyre with an actual potato.
Yeah, and it knocking him out. Him going, oh, God.
Wait, that'd be so great. Oh, no, he's from Scotland. I was going to say, if he's from Ireland, that'd be even better. The potato.
Yeah, Goldberg the potato farmer.
Man, what a good match.
All right.
Give
better than another title match.
All right, no. The other... Do we jump to that right now?
I only watched 3 matches.
Are we jumping into that?
I only watched 3 matches. Let me say this.
But in the kickoff show, you had another title match. It was a women's title match. It was Charlotte and Asuka versus
Asuka De La
Hoya. It was Charlotte and Asuka versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And Shayna and Nia won the titles again. They won them back after losing them like a week ago or something, or a week or two ago. Here's what, like, the stupidest thing about this match is, number one.
Shit, we forgot.
What?
The fucking bell.
Oh.
The bell!
Oh, the bell. We're not going to worry about the bell.
The bell!
Alright, well, let's talk about the bell. Fine. Let me just finish this thought with this. Alright, the thing I don't like about this match is if you go watch the kickoff show, you watch it. Ric Flair's in a spot right now with that woman, the blonde from South Carolina or whatever. The one who, the sexy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans.
Oh.
And he's like been kissing all on her. He's been creepy perv, okay?
Who has?
Ric Flair. So in this match, Ric Flair's music hits when Charlotte's about to lock in the figure 4 or the figure 8, and he comes down, and Lacey Evans comes out of the crowd and pulls Charlotte down to cost them the win. So the titles flip on that. Mm-hmm. I'm just really irked by the storyline of really super old creepy Rick and really young Lacey Evans. Well, I mean, she's not really young. She's like my age, but like
because everybody knows you don't have to be creepy. Jesus Christ, it's Space Mountain. What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, you know, he's in his personal life. He's creepy like that, so I guess it works. But yeah, like basically, there's a lot of legends really upset by the storyline because they're like, Rick, you're letting Vince like single-handedly ruin your career by doing something stupid.
He does it to all the old people. But the other old people are angry at.
But Ric Flair is probably in financial need again.
That's what Vince McMahon does. Is he's like, hey, you want to come? Hey, pal, you want to come be a goon?
Yeah. So that's what's happening with it.
He did it to the Undertaker. Undertaker let him be a goon.
I want to say this. Okay, I want to say this.
Undertaker let him make him be a goon. Did you watch the Goldberg Undertaker match in Saudi Arabia?
Oh god, that match was terrible. That was definitely
you made me look like a
worst Undertaker match I've ever seen. But yeah, here's the thing. WWE, what are you doing? Let's eliminate the women's tag team division. I don't think that's like there's no good teams.
Yeah.
It's not worth doing. Shayna Baszler is better as an individual. Nia Jax is terrible as is because she injures everyone who's smaller than her, which is everyone, man included. Like just end this and put us out of our misery with that. All right, now the bell, the controversial bell. Now, last night I posted a little something on Facebook and actually got some responses, which is kind of cool. Which is why we're doing this wrestling podcast today because there's just way more wrestling fans that listen to us than anything. And when watching this match, and I don't know why, the bell ringing situation didn't bother me because it's the same thing I feel like they do with everything. Except,
we went back and watched it.
Yeah, so like I guess mentally for me, I feel like, oh, this is just the same old normal thing. They ring the bell when they're in the middle of the ring, then they ring after the announcements in the big match, which we saw in the match that followed the women's title match between Carmella and Sasha Banks. They ring the bell when the second one, when the first one was coming out. They rung the bell, and then they would have the bell ring at right when they're standing face to face. So
And when Kevin Owens started coming out,
Yeah.
they ring the bell when the first man comes out.
Yeah.
In the Royal Rumble, they ring the bell when the first man comes out.
yeah,
All the rest of the matches, you ring the bell before the match starts. If you have to read some rules, you read some rules. Bell rings, let you know. Here they come. They're coming out. It's an attention getter. That's what bell's for.
so is your issue with it not the placement of the bell, but just
The
the
match
announcers?
they chose to. No, it's the match they chose to. If that was going to be a plot line, that's the one you can't get wrong.
Yeah.
That was the one you couldn't get wrong. That was the one that we couldn't have a bell right before you screamed for 10 minutes about there not being a bell. Everybody just heard the bell.
Because it's like too close.
Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah, no, I guess I get that. But when I was watching it live in person, did not cross my mind. I was like, dang, man, they're fighting before the bell.
Yeah, they got in. He
So
takes the belt, handed the belt to the referee, takes his kill off, everything. The referee is still takes his kill, everything. Everything has happened. Referee has the belt, kilts off, throws it out of the ring. Ding, ding, ding. They get face to face, and the referee starts trying to break them up. And they say, this is blah, 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 blah. And then this is Goldberg and McIntyre.
So
and
do you
then,
think
like,
Goldberg and McIntyre got it wrong?
No, the bell got it wrong. The bell should have rung when Goldberg was coming out and said, this match is scheduled for one fall. This is a world title match. It is coming to the ring first, Goldberg. And then when you get in the ring, you start fighting. You don't have a bell at all. The bell should sound. The bell shouldn't have. The bell should.
But there's always a second bell.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, that's what we just listened to.
No, there is a second bell to start the match.
It's a title match.
The bell never rings when they're in the ring.
Yeah,
When it doesn't wrong.
Yeah. No, there's always.
It does not.
Once they do the announcements when they're both in the ring.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It does. It happened in the
That
next
is
match.
absolutely not.
It happened in the next
When the
match.
first person was coming out.
Yeah, it happened twice. That's what. No, that was the point of us looking at the back. Was like, does the WWE do the bell twice? And they do.
You are misunderstanding me. I know full well the bell sounds twice. But the two bells are supposed to be far away from each other.
Yeah, that's
never are they right there together.
And
They chose the match where you weren't supposed to hear a bell to play a bell when they were both in the ring. They chose the match where you weren't supposed to hear a bell to play a bell when they got in the ring. You did it differently for that match.
Yeah, I think that was an accident on the bell ringer's part.
Unless it
had to be the referee's fault because he went for the bell. Like he said, ring the bell. So it was the ref's fault. It wasn't WWE's fault. It wasn't McIntyre Goldberg's fault. It wasn't the bell guy's
And then
fault.
we have to
It was the
act
ref's
like
fault.
we can't hear a bell now.
Well, listen, they don't have a lot of latitude.
Pretending?
They don't have a lot of latitude in what
What's
they
this
can
going to
say.
do? He's not there.
I mean, you could fire him.
You're like, Jesus Christ, we heard the bell. What am I going to look like an idiot?
Well, here's the thing. If you were on your phone and you were just kind of on your phone going around, and you didn't hear that bell. And so, like, you look up and you're like, oh, shoot, they're fighting before the bell. And it's okay.
No, if I have my phone down and I'm watching wrestling or a fight or anything, when I hear the bell, I'm like, oh, it started, and I look up.
Yeah. Well,
when I hear a bell.
Well, I mean, but most people are doing this right here, right? Like, and I do this when we watch UFC.
So when you hear a bell, you don't think, oh, it started?
I think I was
How do you
so
know
in
it
tune.
started?
You get so in tune with like what you're looking at that a lot of these sounds just kind of like go outside.
There's no reason to have a bell.
Well, I'm not saying
because
that.
the bell doesn't signal
but
start.
No, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying that probably most people, unless they were just.
No, I think most people, if you are not paying attention, you are listening for the bell to start the match.
I didn't hear the bell.
When the bell goes off, that's your cue to say the match has started. I better start watching.
I know, but here's the thing. I didn't hear the bell. Like no way.
You don't hear anything, brother. We watched the Kamaru Usman fight, and you didn't see anything but foot stomps, and everybody.
That's all there was in that match.
Like all three of us were like, "What fight were you watching?"
All it was foot stomps and hugging.
Like
that's all that fight. Let's not get back on that because I went back and watched that when they replayed it on the ESPN, and all it was hugging and foot stomps.
Everybody else in the living room was like, "The hell are you watching, Ron?"
Yeah, well, y'all weren't watching the same fight because it was just hugging and foot stomps.
So no, you don't notice anything.
Well, listen.
You don't notice anything.
Hugging and foot stomps. That's all that fight was. Don't bring that. That was a traumatizing night for me because It was hugging and foot stomps. I wasted $20 watching
Goldberg
that fight.
can't potato anybody.
Yes,
do
he can.
Do you hear bells in wrestling matches? Do you hear bells?
Did you hear the bell for the Royal Rumble?
Do you hear bells
match with Goldberg and McIntyre? Because I didn't hear it. I really didn't. Like I was.
Do you pay attention to what you watch?
I was on like Snapchat or something, sending a message, and just missed it.
When you watch a pay-per-view, do you pay attention to what you're watching?
I mean, like this match had no interest to me, so I wasn't really like too paying attention.
Which is wild that they put it on the card.
Well, they put it on first. So that doesn't matter. So like, yeah.
That's supposed to set the stage for what you're about to see. The first match is important. Have you
It was
never?
great. We saw Goldberg almost kill McIntyre. We saw he worked the best WWE match of his life.
Take me back and shoot.
Listen, man, I will. I mean, I love this, man. This is so great. Listeners, if you're out there, we appreciate you listening to today's episode. We're just beginning, actually. Let's talk about the one. All right, so Carmella, Sasha Banks. Carmella had this really weird, awkward fall. I don't really care about the match because I'm more invested in Sasha versus Bayley coming back because I don't really care about Carmella.
Put it down, would you?
No, like it needs a WrestleMania payoff.
WWE, God.
I need Bayley to switch back to being a babyface with long hair again.
That is wild. That 700 matches, not one of them has fallen on WrestleMania. Jesus Evans Christ.
It needs to happen, man. It's been a big.
You have had
payoff.
700 opportunities to put it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they against each other, they're better than any of the two guys you could find to wrestle each other. Their matches
Which
are
tells you about their roster.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the men's roster is struggling. 100%. 100%. But they're about to snipe a bunch of people from AEW.
You know how I know their roster's struggling?
What? Because Goldberg's opening
The first match in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Goldberg's opening up. Yeah.
No, and the last match, the Royal Rumble. Told me the roster was struggling.
No, I love the ending. Would you rather have Seth Rollins? Because that was in choice number 2.
That tells me the roster's struggling.
No,
both of those choices tell me the roster's struggling.
Rollins come back. He's the big name.
Woohoo! We get to hear him talk some more.
Yeah, but you're like the only person that doesn't like Seth Rollins.
We get to hear him read off his cue cards some more.
Hey man, it was going to either be Edge or Rollins.
And
you got the best case scenario.
I don't like you. I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania, pal.
You know, actually Becky Lynch teased her coming back for the Royal Rumble.
Buddy.
Like, did you know that?
You just wait.
Did you hear the interaction, the dialogue in the thing with him and Braun Strowman?
You just wait until I get my hands
on
you.
I'm asking you a legitimate question, boy. Answer the question,
man.
Answer the question.
Do not yell at me.
Here,
I will take a steel chair and crush you with it and win the title.
Please stop.
1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring. I like it. I think we should give him a title match. He's really good. That sounded really good.
Just need to bring like Paul Ellery back and put with him or something. Someone can talk.
Isn't that what it sounds like?
No, I get it. But did you hear what his dialogue in the ring with the Rumble when it was the Final Four? Edge versus Christian. It was Rollins versus Strowman.
I guess I wasn't. I tuned him out.
Oh, because he hit him like that. It's like, it's me and you versus them. They're old. We're new.
Wild.
So that was the card they played with it. So, all right.
And the old people won because our roster's bad.
But listen.
Was the conclusion?
I think. All right, here you go. Hear me out.
Yes or no?
Hear me out on this. I really think that if you're not a super hardcore WWE fan, Edge winning this was the best possible scenario. I think if you're a person who's not actually invested every week in the WWE storyline, Edge winning the Royal Rumble from spot number one, I think it was perfect.
Which has happened how many times now?
3.
3? Okay.
Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Edge.
Rey Mysterio.
4 then?
4.
Like 4 times. So it's not overplayed at all with as long as they've been doing it, like 30 years. I mean, that's a pretty fair number. But I think it went beyond that. I think it was WWE having to showing that Edge still has it in the tank, that he can hang it over an hour in the match. I think that's big for it, okay? Because I think Edge is actually legitimately healthy enough to wrestle again.
Yeah,
right? And I think that here's the thing. The way his career ended, it was wrong. Okay. Now, one of our people who commented on our post, I don't think he's a listener. He brought up a few things. He said he would have rather seen AJ win it or Daniel Bryan win it. Now, I could have been behind Daniel Bryan winning. I will tell you that. I could have been behind him. He's another old guy. I could have been behind AJ winning.
How old is he?
He's another old guy.
Daniel Bryan, how old is he?
I mean, he's got to be upper 30s, but his brain,
35.
but his brain is like 80.
I'm not worried about his brain.
I'm worried about his brain. He's like an old school wrestler.
I'm sure about his brain.
Well, listen, man, I don't. I gotta look it up now. I need to know how old he is actually. When
And I want to compare it to the other people on the card that we had to sit and watch. That my eyeballs got tired watching.
Who did you get tired of watching?
Oh man.
He actually turns 40 this year.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So he started late. Now, yeah, he was an indie guy for a while. He did start late in the WWE.
So he
I didn't think
turns
about
40.
that. Okay. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. God.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Is there no talent on the planet now, WWE?
Everything. He's having they're having a tough time refilling, I guess, the roster or whatever. Goldberg's 54.
You're supposed to be the biggest company on the planet. What do you have What are you having a hard time refilling?
Well, so for a while there was AEW was pretty much just signing anyone who breathed, and they took a lot. But now there's.
But this has been a problem before AEW.
But that now there's a lot of talk now that WWE is about to make some big signings from AEW's roster. So like people are just kind of unhappy with AEW, and so this is the nature of the business. They just flip flop back and forth. Because AEW
but like
right
this
now.
was a problem before AEW, wasn't it? That
AEW
all
right
your
now.
old people were your stars.
Yeah. Well,
That you were the geriatric ward like you've been.
Yeah, but
for 10 years
the
now.
old people are what make you money, man. Here's the thing. This is what I explained to the guy on Facebook. All right, Undertaker and Goldberg are exactly the same age, by the way.
One's in way better shape.
Goldberg.
Well, yeah, Undertaker's.
Yeah. Did you see the Undertaker Joe Rogan?
Which is wild. Which is wild that I'm in less health than you, and I work, and I'm still work better than you, and I'm still stronger than you, and I can.
Did you see
how
DDP?
wild is that?
Did you see DDP reached out
Yeah,
to Undertaker?
DDP.
Oh, dude, he saves people's lives, man.
Good job, pal.
Hey, DDP can save your life.
No, he can't.
Yeah.
I don't want his help.
DDP.
Let's talk about that. You brought up a good point. He is healthier, and he's still not as good.
Yeah.
You're healthier than I am, and you can't do what I can do.
There's a big difference between the jackhammer spot and the tombstone spot. Or a choke spot.
I'm talking about I'm Ron. Are you just talking about one move? You can't work as good as I can, and I'm healthier than you.
Bill Goldberg can never work like a real wrestler in WCW.
So why are we using him into his 50s? He's never been that good.
Because all he has to do is jackhammer.
He's not good.
All he has to do
he's not good when he's 30, so let's wait until he's 50 and see how bad he gets.
Listen, he's still got a pop coming out to the ring. People still love seeing him.
That's WWE fans, man.
Listen, it makes money for them. So if it makes money, it makes sense. With the storylines, listen, the storylines are all crazy right now because we should be seeing the culmination of Fiend versus Randy Orton.
You know what I thought?
But I think Fiend's going to be all on the shelf until after WrestleMania.
Do you know what I felt like the Royal Rumble was?
What?
Like just the 3 matches that I watched.
Yeah.
I felt like it was an incoherent fever dream.
Explain.
Like
for our dumb listeners, because you're one of them.
Shit was just happening.
Yeah.
Every other match, the bell rings when the first person starts walking out. This one, we're gonna wait until 5 seconds before they start yelling about the bell not ringing to ring it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna yell about it for 10 minutes.
But the match was decent.
And then we're gonna yell about it for 10 minutes.
The match was over average.
The next title match, the one I watched, Incoherent Fever Dream, it's just you know how you can't really punch, you can't really get hurt, you can't do anything in a dream. Neither can they in WWE. You can do anything to them, and they just roll up like inflatable tube bin going down, and they come right back up. I'm gonna get a forklift, I'm gonna raise it way up, and I'll go through a table. And then you're going to go, oh, don't worry, I'm back up. Don't worry, I'm at my feet, baby.
No, but that wasn't an immediate back up. They both almost got counted out. That was like the last possible second for them to get off.
He started moving quick. It wasn't like...
Yeah, but he was adjusting from the pain of listen, you're not just going to lay there dead if somebody jumps on you like that. You're going to roll around. that you're not going to just. That's not how it happens.
No, he
Like,
was moving in a way that didn't make sense to what
he was
just
probably
happened
trying
to
to
him.
adjust to be able to get up because there was a lot of potatoes in that match.
Yeah, but
There was a ton of hard hits.
Did you also?
And also,
Incoherent Fever Dream. Did you not think? Who got the idea that a golf cart windshield won't break through?
But I absolutely love that spot.
Why were you so surprised it broke? It's
the plexiglass. All right. I actually love that spot because that spot was a dig at AEW. I don't know if you realize that.
Did you see how surprised he was when it broke?
He probably didn't think it was going to break like that.
Why?
Because I think Kevin Owens took that spot wrong. I think he actually took that
Was
spot.
he supposed to go under it?
I think it was supposed to be a different type of roll. Like, I think he literally hit him.
Yes!
No, I know, but I think Owens was supposed to, like, jump and hit the hood. Like, I think he literally...
It's like knee high. How are you supposed to do it?
Listen, I'm telling you.
They didn't think about it enough.
Well, yeah, but that spot was great. Absolutely amazing. Because the AEW one was so bad that, like, WWE took this and redeemed it. The AEW one was so bad. Today I woke up to memes of seeing the AEW golf cart spot, WWE golf cart spot.
That's like I don't think it was a situation of he took it wrong. I think they didn't think about it enough. Like, yeah, you just blah 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 blah, and then the golf cart's coming at him. And he's like, "This isn't gonna work. What am I gonna do now?"
That's where Reigns split himself, right? Like on the face. That was great because that led to a great like spot that Kevin and him had. I don't know if you heard this, if you paid attention.
Do you know what I did after the first match?
Oh, what?
I listened to Frank Zappa. I was listening to Joe's Garage the rest of the
night.
You
know what?
Because
listen, I don't trust anything you say now.
Because I cannot listen to anybody that has a headset and a microphone in WWE. Their commentators, I don't know how I don't know how they have jobs.
Here's the thing.
I don't know how they.
Here's the thing. If you would have actually had your volume up,
just take a house plant and put a headset on.
Well, here's the thing. If you would have had your volume up like a good person researching these things, right?
I could not do it.
Listen,
anymore.
I don't care. Be a man up. But if you had your volume on, there's a spot when they're walking back towards the arena where like Kevin Owens looks at him like, "Whose blood's out on your face?" "Oh, that's not mine. That's tribal blood." Or that's head of the table's blood or something. But it was he said something and it was very witty and you could tell it was like on the spot. It wasn't like a choreographed thing. It was like
very good. It wasn't that sentence.
Well, I mean, I was giving you an idea of what it was. It was good though. It was really good. But here's the thing. That match for me was absolutely perfect.
Wow.
Absurd. Up until the last spot where he handcuffs Roman Reigns to the bottom of the thing.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, you must not have watched it. Because the handcuff thing goes down. And Reigns isn't able to break it like he's supposed to. And then the count. The count starts happening, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He knocks the ref out. Okay? I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. Normal spot. Paul Heyman comes out trying to fiddle with it. You know, when Kevin Owens is standing up, we already seen him stand up. Mm-hmm. So he's just laying on the guardrail waiting, right? Trying to fiddle with it. Can't do it. Second ref comes out and starts counting. 1, 2.
Don't you
3.
Stand on this illogical grave after
5.
So many illogical things have happened
listen,
in this show.
This is the absolute.
You are going to stand on this one.
This is the absolute worst. This is it. Because he's at a count of 5, and word comes in from the microphone says you got to stop because Paul cannot find he can't find the hole. He has the same problem you had. He couldn't find the hole, boy. All right, and so Paul's trying to get this, and he couldn't do it. So they had to stop the count, and the ref's just like,
he's gonna stand on this one.
This is the worst part of the whole card. This ruined this match for me. Like, absolutely did. Knock the other ref out.
I'm surprised that it took that long to run it.
Knock the other ref out. I told you, when I watched this fight, or when I watched this match, the Goldberg one I thought was good because I didn't see the part. I didn't see the part about the missed bell. I was like, man, this is the best match Goldberg's ever put on for us in WWE.
Because
now he can retire. Yeah, that doesn't matter though. Still, I was like, oh, great match. I didn't say great match. I said, no, decent match. It's a decent match. But no, this one, I have problems with it. He's just standing there watching, and Kevin Owens just looking at him. Like, and Paul can't get the thing over. And listen, if that's it, why are you going to send the ref out if they're having that much trouble?
Because they don't have to make sense. It's an incoherent fever dream.
Kevin Owens should be the champion right now. It literally was a 30 count with Roman Reigns being down there with another ref standing there.
Why are you drawing a line on where they need to make sense? Why don't you start making all the sense?
I just think that this was like, I think in terms of like the first match, I was like, dude, it doesn't care. It's just a belt. I don't really care about them yelling. I don't live and die by the announcers. I die by the product that's there. All right, and that product was decent. It was better than the Goldberg Undertaker match. It was better than the Goldberg Fiend match. It was like that was a better match. Okay, so I was like, you know what? That's a decent note for Goldberg's career to go off.
I was shocked. I was in awe that they figured out. First of all, they figured out anything. Second of all, that they figured out this man can't work. Let's not let him.
Yeah. Well, listen. Here's that. All right, let's talk about the Royal Rumble stuff, the men's one. I'm sorry if any of you listened to find out about the women's one or talk about it. Here you go. Women's one had a lot better appearances by former people. First off, Tori Wilson. Oh my God. Did you see her?
No.
She looks like Attitude Era Tori. Swear to God. Pull up a picture of her from last night.
Woo!
All right. Mickey James. Quality. All right. The funniest entrant. Jillian. You remember Jillian from JBL's woman who did the singing? Yeah. She came out singing.
Wow.
Like it
Tori
was
Wilson. I just looked.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Crazy, absurd. Right? Absurd. 1997. What? 2021. What?
Yeah.
No. Time has not hit her yet. Fine wine, man. All right. So I was like, oh man, Tori Wilson. This is like teenage Ron, like drooling here. Okay. And so. The match itself, the women's match, was actually pretty good. There was some really bad spots, but it's hard to have perfect spots in this match.
Yeah,
I understand that. Stuff. I was really happy they put Bianca Belair over. Okay, I didn't think it was going to happen. The EST of NXT. You know she's married to one of the Street Profit guys. Mm-hmm. That's how I thought it was actually pretty cool. But the men's Rumble, let me down, man.
Really?
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through. Dun, dun. Alright, that part. Actually, he's my favorite part of the whole Royal Rumble. The Hurricane Helms. Alright, listen. I used to do that. The stand back. Okay?
Christian can obviously still work his ass
actually,
off.
And that's what I was going to get to. Okay. The men one had actual people who could wrestle, right? Come in, right? He can
still go.
Also, Carlito.
Looks. Yeah.
Like $1 million.
The Incredible Bulk made his entrance.
Yeah. I was surprised he came out, man, because there was a lot of negative stuff about like the whole like Raw Legends thing, and like, you know, actually somebody was trying to get him to WWE to sign him, but Vince wouldn't okay it or something. But like, he definitely could still go.
Yeah.
Now when Christian comes out, I can't. It was not the same level of feeling I had when Edge returned. All right.
It was for me.
But you know what? I looked at it and I was like, okay.
It might have been for me because I listened to the Edge and Christian podcast.
Yeah.
So both of them are still fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
It's not just Edge.
No, I get that. I was never.
So when I saw him, I was like,
I was never a fan of Christian. Yeah. The only time I enjoyed him was when they did their little kazoo stuff and like the funny Edge and Christian. That's the only time I liked.
When he came back from TNA. I liked that Christian.
See, yeah,
like when he won the heavyweight title and stuff.
I don't know. I've never been a Christian fan, but you know what? The guy can still work.
He can go.
And you know what? Listen, give him a run. Like, listen, put the tag titles on.
Which I've heard from the old guys in the back and like wrestlers that worked with him and before him, and I've heard he's one of the best. Like he's on like I'm trying to think of a good wrestler like a Kurt Angle, like a Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Like he can go.
That's what I've heard too.
And boy, he can still go. We saw last night he can go.
And that's why, listen, it's why I don't have a problem with the Final Four being too young, too old. And that's why I don't have a problem with the old guy winning.
I
don't know how he's going to beat a champion that we have right now. I understand. That doesn't make sense right now. I get that. But you know what? for nostalgia.
Somebody has to take it from McIntyre, huh?
Yeah, and he's the one that they're going to take it from.
I feel like Randy Orton's going to take it.
Right now, Roman Reigns is too invested in. And, he actually has come out and said, Roman Reigns has said he wants to work with Paul Heyman for the rest of his career. He said this is...
good!
He said this is the dream he's always had. He's always wanted to be a heel after the Shield broke up.
Yes!
And he said he only wants to work with Paul
That
Heyman.
was the obvious thing to do with him. Yeah. It took them this long to get around to it. I don't give them any credit, by the way, and I've said this on this podcast before, because for something so obvious, you waited so long, you get no credit now that you've done it.
I mean, all right, here you go. Do you think it would have been as effective if they put Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins as it is with Roman Reigns? You really don't?
Nope.
I think it would have, actually, but...
Because one looks a lot scarier. One looks a lot bigger. One looks like he can hurt you.
That's fair. You need a smaller manager? Like a woman?
I mean,
Becky Lynch?
Jesus, not Owen. What the hell's wrong with me?
Dance break. Dun, 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 dun.
Jesus! The microphone Hart.
Oh, Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart.
I was about to say Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron.
But, that's who you put with Seth Rollins. Somebody that's...
Squirrel, you.
Yeah.
Put you with Seth.
Yeah. I mean, you have to...
Yeah.
A comic relief goes with Seth.
I get that. Paul Heyman does look like he just manages monsters.
He has to go with...
Yeah.
machines.
I get that. That's a fair statement. That's fair. I don't know.
Because the way Paul Heyman sells his athletes, if he was like, I got a new guy and I got a blah, 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 and all credit to Seth Rollins as a worker, but and he's like...
Your guy is Seth Rollins? Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah,
I get that. That's... Yeah.
You build this guy up, I got a new guy, and you've seen him be with Brock Lesnar.
But it worked with CM Punk.
And Seth Rollins comes...
Yeah. No, I get that, Dan. I don't know. I get it. People want to see a storyline make sense. But you know what? I'm kind of under that impression that storylines don't have to make sense anymore with WWE. So I do understand that. So that's why I don't have an issue with it.
I'm resigned to it's not going to.
Yeah.
Not that it shouldn't, or not that I don't want it to, or not. Yeah. It's just they don't have the talent or ability to make it make sense.
Well, here's the thing. This storyline works if it's Randy Orton that takes it off, because here you go.
I think it's just going to have to happen. If I'm thinking of everything that's happened this past few months or a year, I'm thinking the only logical thing is for Randy Orton to take it off of Drew McIntyre, and it's Randy and Edge at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, but
I think that's a great payoff.
It is.
And 25,000 fans in Raymond James Stadium, which is what the plan is right now. It's already been approved.
It is a great payoff. I only say unfortunately because, that's still where we're at in 2021.
So here's what I'm thinking, right? All right, I think of these elaborate plans, okay? I don't think The Fiend is coming back until after WrestleMania. And I think that's how they put a pause on this, because they put pauses on things for extended times. We know that.
Yeah.
All right, so I think The Fiend is out of the picture right now. But you have that...
When's the payoff of Vince McMahon blowing up a limo going to come?
I don't know.
That's been paused.
No, that's a long time. So you're going to have Randy Orton beat McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think at WrestleMania you have Edge versus Randy. Edge beats Randy for the title. Miz comes in and cashes in the Money in the Bank and beats Edge. And it sets it straight for, McIntyre to come back and get his rematch. And then Fiend to continue on with, Randy Orton. Or you could have the lights go out, the Fiend comes out, attacks Edge, attacks Randy, leaves, Miz covers, sets up the storyline over there. I hate you. But I think that's somehow how it's going to go. Because here's the thing. They're not taking it off of Roman Reigns, because the ultimate payoff, WrestleMania, Rock versus Roman Reigns, head of the table.
Yeah.
And it's still a possibility. It's still on the table.
Which would be as up and down as Roman Reigns has been.
It makes his career.
It would be that
this is the career match.
The shot you would get of that would be the shot of Stone Cold and Bret Hart looking at each other. Would be the shot of The Rock and Hulk Hogan looking at each other. It would be.
It's that shot.
He would have that shot.
It's the one that you get printed out.
Andre and Hulk looking at each other. It would be that shot.
Yeah, I'm getting a shot of Andre and Hulk. Hulk is bear hugging Andre, and it's autographed I Slam the Giant. that would be one of those pictures you get printed out real nice,
Mm-hmm.
and you get both of them to sign it and put like head of the table.
Which is like I'm in favor of having that moment.
I mean, Rock is obviously if Rock's going to lose to someone at WrestleMania, it's going to be his relative.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? What better way to really launch because Roman Reigns' career has been like up here with the Shield, down
It's
here.
just
Up here,
seesaw.
down here, and you know what? It's rising right now.
No fault of his.
Yeah, it's not.
No
It
fault
really
of
is.
his.
It really isn't. Breaking up the Shield, I think, first off, was a bad idea. Like I think that stable could have been New Day level.
It was similar. I would go back, and I think I have before. You go back to 2004 when people were starting to like Randy Orton as a heel, and Vince McMahon was like, "Oh, people are starting to like him. Heavyweight champion, babyface now," and everybody's like, "No, not that."
Yeah.
But he fixed it.
They did that with
time,
Edge too.
Yeah, that time he changed. He was like, "Oh, okay, they don't want that. Never mind." With Roman Reigns, he kept, "No,
trying to force you as a baby
here."
face. But he does not look like a baby face.
No.
He literally, like we were talking about stereotypes. If Roman Reigns is walking down this side of the street towards me, I'm probably crossing the road.
Yeah.
Right? Like because he just looks like he's going to punch you in the face.
Yeah, he's
like he and you can't put that baby face type of you can't make that a baby face.
He has to be a Stone Cold type.
Now
of
somehow Braun Strowman made it happen because you know what, as a baby face, people were all about him. But you know what? It wasn't like a baby. It was like a hokey country baby face.
Yeah.
Like a likable guy.
Yeah.
That's what his was. He's a likable guy. You know, he's just a big old likable guy.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe.
and maybe.
There goes the like to dislike ratio on this video with that sentence.
Please comment down below. Is the beard? Oh, I call myself the beard. Is the Walrus? I like
dislike ratio. He calls himself the beard.
You know, anyways, this pay-per-view, I watched it. I will tell you this. I didn't regret watching it. Now, I have that feeling a lot of times with pay-per-views. Like I said, the Goldberg one didn't upset me. The Carmella-Sasha Banks match was really good. The Women's Royal Rumble, I really enjoyed it. Title match, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, I loved that match until the last segment. And they ruined it for me. It ruined the whole match. Now I now get how you feel when one little part ruins a match for you. But it ruined it for me. Knock out the second ref. Alright? Do it again.
What you gotta do to win.
Just do it again.
Just do what you
but
gotta
don't stop the count and have the refs just look like this.
Yeah, just look confused.
Don't do that. Okay? And then the Men's Royal Rumble, I was fine with Kane being there. I was fine with Hurricane Helms being there. I was there. Carlito being there. Christian coming out was the icing on the cake because you knew there was going to be one big guy.
And what? He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah. Could you imagine if Christian would have won that match?
Can I give you a match?
Okay,
Can I give you a match?
Edge versus Christian, WrestleMania.
I mean, I wouldn't oppose.
I would take that.
But
okay,
just for the technicality of it, just for the match sake, Christian and AJ Styles.
Oh God, that'd be. They've had that in TNA, right?
We've seen that in TNA.
They've had that in TNA. I feel like, I feel like you just go watch a highlight reel for that.
We've seen that in TNA. I didn't think about that.
I think it would be really cool. You know, like, I mean, AJ Styles needs another good payoff match.
He was in one of my favorite matches ever, and I think it was 2016 Royal Rumble. Him and John Cena. They had that match where they didn't even go outside the ring. It happened all in the ring. It was.
That was where Cena brought out for the first time the flying stunner.
That is
the turnbuckle, the rope stunner.
That is one of my favorite matches of all time.
You know what? That match for me was kind of like, you know what? John Cena can leave on this match.
I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was good.
But I didn't have a problem.
But you know, AJ Styles, talking about him, man. Phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wrestler. I don't like his talking on the mic in WWE. Yes. His Royal Rumble entrance was the biggest one for me before Edge's.
Yeah.
You know, but like I knew AJ signed. Like before he walked out, I knew he had, and I was just waiting, and I heard that. Oh, they don't want. I was like,
oh man!
And when he came out,
was it?
I was a huge TNA fan.
Oh no, it wasn't the Royal Rumble. Never mind, it was WrestleMania. It was the Hardy Boys but it was
when they returned.
Yeah.
When
that was
when
at WrestleMania.
it's so funny because
What an entrance that was.
Somebody made this comment to me. It's kind of funny where you think about it. You think that the Hardy move is like really easy to do, that dance they do.
No.
But Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods couldn't even do it right.
Yeah.
They failed at it.
Yeah.
What's that tell you, man?
It's just unique timing. It's just like the way
I wanna
moves.
see Jeff Hardy leave and reunite in AEW with Matt and do the broken combo again, because they own the rights to that anyways. Though he signed an extension with WWE.
Well,
but I really wanted to see that. Just come back, man.
I just don't want to see him under another Myrtle Beach stairwell.
That's true. Poor guy.
God.
I don't know, man. I think we did a good job covering it today, man.
I think
the listeners should be impressed with us.
I had what I had. I had 3 matches. I was happy with the way. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. I was happy with the Royal Rumble.
Hey, man, it is what it is. You know what? It's still a WWE pay-per-view. I'm still gonna watch them because I have the network. I don't know if I'll switch over to Peacock when it goes there because they sold it. I think it's cheaper though. I think it's only like $5 a month.
Maybe I'll roll them.
But so I don't know. As long as it's still there, I'm still watching. AEW is actually my favorite product right now. I watch it every Wednesday pretty religiously. So, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you once again for listening to the Walrus and Comic Podcast. Today we covered the 2021 Royal Rumble because we didn't announce that in the beginning. Give us a like, a follow, a share, comment below. Spread the love. Let people know we're out here because we're putting out good products. We're willing to talk about pretty much whatever. Even if you want politics, I'll put a mask on and we'll do a little political discussion. I don't know, but give us a follow and a like. That's the comic.
Womp.
I'm the Walrus.
Womp.
We'll see you next time.